Video, I wanted to share with you one of the practices that I utilize in my day to day that feels very almost like a framework for manifestation and also just a way for me to create new neural pathways, which is really important as we are healing, growing, and transforming. We don't want to get caught up in the same thought patterns. And this practice is something that has also helped me cultivate a deeper practice of gratitude too. Which is something that I used to really struggle with, and I used to hate the word gratitude. But now I really feel like the impacts of it and just feeling more peace in my day to day. And it has to do with reframing affirmations to afformations. And let me just kind of clarify. So, affirmations can sometimes be really tough, especially if we're really hard on ourselves, if we don't believe it, and we tend to be very practical, very realistic, serious people, especially if you're a high achiever. Sometimes giving an affirmation can just feel like a brush off the shoulder. It doesn't really hit the heart, it doesn't feel the way that you want it to. And so, one way that I kind of pivot out of this is giving myself an affirmation. So, let me give you an example. So, instead of saying I am wealthy, which is a very common, like wealth abundance mentality, not like wealthy in terms of cold hard cash, but wealthy in terms of community, in terms of resources, all of that. Instead of saying I am wealthy, you say, how am I wealthy right now? And this means that your problem solving brain is activated. And I know that the people in my world are problem solvers. Most of us are eldest daughters, very high achievers. We are natural problem solvers. And so you get to have this part of your brain work for you. And so you can think about, oh, I was able to buy a matcha latte, or I was gifted a matcha latte powder from when my friend went to Japan. And I love how my friends like think of me, even though we're continents apart. And I was able to make that instead of going to a cafe. And so you start to see the ways that you are naturally already wealthy. Because sometimes when we have an affirmation, we think it has to look a certain way. Like wealthy means having a house, it means being able to travel all over the world. But if you say, I am well traveled as an affirmation, instead frame it to an affirmation saying, how was I well traveled today? You can say, oh, actually, maybe I need to leave the apartment and go work at a cafe. Maybe I took a walk around the block and went to a different street I never saw before and saw these beautiful flowers that I hadn't encountered, and I took a selfie with it. And so when you have an affirmation, it almost becomes as a sort of compass. You start seeking those experiences more, and you start to seek the ways that you are the way of whatever sort of guideposts that you have for yourself. And so affirmations also help you as a practice to have that whatever affirmation. Like if your affirmation is what are the ways that I'm well traveled, well knowledge, well resourced, you will start to do small things to feel that way. So it's almost like a beautiful self-fulfilling prophecy. And so, for example, an affirmation can be like, I'm so loved. You can really feel like that's hard and think of all the ways you don't feel loved, right? That can immediately come to mind. But if you say, what are the ways that I'm loved, this past week today, one, you can find the ways that you have created that by saying, oh, I took some time to slow down, to put lotion on myself. Oh, a friend texted me and I haven't even responded to their text, but now I should respond to their text. And I feel good responding to their text that I had put off from responding. And it's just such a beautiful way to see the world work for you, rather you at being odds with the world and like your what you want. And so this is one way to kind of reframe trying to force a statement that may feel currently untrue for you and to have your mind seek for these evidence that supports this positive affirmation. And affirmations are a way of engaging your curiosity. Like, oh, how did I do that? What do I want to do? And it's such a great practice, especially for people that have CPTSD, PTSD, or any sort of trauma, because it helps you build safety in the small ways, of seeing how you are actively creating the lifestyle, the world, the values that you want to be in alignment with without triggering any sort of resistance. And so this is such a very powerful way to like manifest your future self who is wealthy, well loved, all of those things. And so my question for you is, what is an affirmation that you have really resonant with but felt resistance to? And so for me, the affirmation I've always struggled with is feeling like I am enough. So the questions I ask myself as an affirmation is, what are the ways that I show that I am enough? What are the ways that I am enough today? And my brain starts seeking more of that and to create more of that. And so this is just simple yet powerful reframe that is so subtle but powerful. And so let me know what types of affirmations to affirmations you have, and I can't wait to hear how it goes.